Hello everyone, and today we will talk about another example of an indie game that is better or just on par with the mainstream strategy genres. Well, the one that you're looking at is They Are Billions. They Are Billions is a very frustrating but also equally satisfying game. Now that I think about it, a lot of the games that I like are like that, which kind of says a lot about me, but that's not the point. The gameplay-wise, it is very rich and detailed, but also very simplistic. You have a direct line of buildings. Some of them are obvious traps, such as advanced mills and everything. As such, you do have quite a bit of degree of micromanagement that is available at your disposal. Not just, you're making a lot of decisions throughout the game, such as not only where you're gonna make your buildings and how to maximum utilize your space and resources, you're also deciding where to expand. This becomes a very important point because not only your new area needs to be highly defensible, but also needs to be worth expanding into, because if you're building too many walls, you're expanding too many resources and those become hard to defend. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the story. There is a story, and the idea being, well, in mid-2000s or so, they invented something, basically zombies. They invented the zombie virus. Yeah, I was trying to avoid some spoilers, but that's as most as I can avoid. They found the zombie virus, and then 200 years later, the only known city that has survived is in a crater. The campaign is also wonderful. The way it works, you have different types of missions. You have exploration missions, which you play with one character. It feels more like a isometric RPG, so to speak, but it is quite fun. It is well made. It's a change of pace from the standard game, and then the other ones are the survival modes where you're trying to accomplish a mission. It could be reach a certain population, it could be destroy a specific target, you name it. And as you progress, just like in StarCraft, you unlock new technologies, new stories, and lots of other stuff. So it is quite good, and you also have a choice of wonderful missions. You have, as you advance those missions, you unlock more and more of them. As you perform better in those missions, you get more tech, and you can perform better. So with all that being said, the core game has its issues. The story kind of seems a little contrived and seems a little lacking in most parts. However, it gets its job done. The whole thing exists just as a capsule for the gameplay, which is wonderful. Now let's talk about the gameplay. We already talked about it a little bit. It is a city builder with zombies. The first thing you will want to learn, and you will get frustrated at the start, I'll tell you that much. This is one of those games where it is easy to learn it's a little hard to learn, but easier to master. It's much easier to master than it is to, say, learn it. And that is because the game at the start is quite frustrating. You realize as soon as zombies get a few hits on your buildings, the buildings get infected, and then this starts a cascade of undead horde going through all of your buildings and constantly growing. Basically, if you lost one building, you lost the whole campaign, which really does suck. They really need to fix that. But with that being said, the units themselves are great. The strategies you can place, you can, keep building walls. As you can see right now, I have a lot of open areas. I've only started building walls in a minor choke points, and that is because, well, walls also take a lot of space and resources. Well, they aren't that expensive. However, you still should use them sparingly as a way to divide your districts. And with those districts, you're able to, gain more resources. The way I like to do it through districts, it's up to you how you do it. But walls also allow you to, in case one of the districts are breached, with enough reinforcements, you can salvage the game, because the walls definitely slow down the enemy horde's advancements, allowing you to progress. With that being said, now let's talk about the presentation. Being an indie game, graphics are quite limited, but the audio design is wonderful. Just listen to this ambience. The sounds of each individual unit is great. The announcements can get a little tedious, But this is a game where people have played on average about 50 or 60 hours. However, it has much more than that in terms of potential. It can definitely take up hundreds of hours of your life, and in the end you will not feel bad because it actually teaches you to think how to manage critical resources and look for, say, weaknesses within your systems. It's a unique experience, and that this is here a smallest risk can cascade into complete failure, and there are some cases like that in life. As such, this game is a sort of an experience in those cases. This game teaches you to manage those risks, especially at the start of the game, manage your resources, and it teaches you that just one mistake can destroy all of your hard work. On one hand, it will frustrate you. On the other, it will make you appreciate the effort and your victories as well. In the final wave, the enemy comes from all directions, which, knowing that, would have saved me quite a few hours. Regardless, I hope you have enjoyed this, and do let me know if you have any recommendations for games that are better or on par with mainstream strategy games, and we'll see you next time.